So I think when we talk about like how can you have your company embrace technology that perhaps you're excited about and you think it's going to change, it's a game changer, it's going to change the way you show up to consumers, you have to step back. And we start with a tenet called consumer empathy, deep consumer empathy. And to some extent, you also have to have deep management empathy, meaning that sometimes things aren't black and white and simple. There's a technology that may make sense to you that may not make sense immediately to like your leaders, and your job and your role is to ensure that you've provided a compelling business case for it. And sometimes it might manifest itself in hard savings, sometimes it might manifest itself in soft savings, but there's an impact. And so I think, you know, tempering the solution that you're looking at and understanding in a business context the value that it brings, whether it's reducing call volume, whether it's improving or deepening health engagement, you have to articulate it as such. I think many times we see a solution and we look for a problem to fit that solution. And so the other thing I'd say when we say deep customer empathy is you see the problem first, you see the experience, start from the consumer and go back from the consumer. And you'll kind of know what friction points you have to address. And those usually point to a severity of a problem, which points to an impact that you can make to the company. And so you kind of follow my line of thinking. You have to have an understanding of what today's baseline is, your measurement around what the impact would be. The second thing is like we have to try and, when we convey a certain technology or solution or capability, I think we also have to think about its application, not in a boil the ocean sort of manifesto, but in like, how can you like show rewards early and soon? How can you kind of have confidence that this technology is going to pan out for you in the way that you think it should, and that it's going to have an impact? And so I think doing experimentation, low fidelity, so spend the least amount of money, use the least amount of resources, but have a scrappy version of that technology that you can put in place and experiment with, and then grow it in fidelity. What you'll do at that point is convince folks that there's an application. If there is an application, it will lead to that hypothesis panning out, right? And then you'll also do, secondly, help your learning, right? Because you might learn something in that first instance during experimentation that you may have not understood how you do a full-blown scale out. And so temper the technology ask with also providing proof points early on, start small, and then have proof points early on. That will lead you and help you to, like, for the big cases when you want to scale and ask for the bigger investment because there's confidence there.